Thank you, fellow panelists and participants. Welcome to my presentation on solid waste management through biomethanation route. And I'm not going to speak much about the entire waste management strategy and processes or technologies, right? So I'm straightway coming to a technology that we have installed in a city called Udaipur in Rajasthan. And before jumping directly into the technology, I would like to begin with some basic information about the solid waste generation and liquid waste generation in the
Sure.
city. So next slide, please. So this will be the flow of my presentation, and I will stick to only 5 to 6 slides. We are covering all these topics. So next slide, please. So MSW generation in the Udaipur is around 180 TPD, and they have only very small, treatment facility to treat this organic waste, and they have only one plant of 10 TPD, which is a biogas based plant, which is based on the anaerobic digestion technology basically. So rest is diverted to the landfill, or it is diverted to some cattle feed sometime if it is a good for the cattle feed, and rest of them is a very huge challenge for the municipality to tackle with this. So in this regard, we were approached, not directly by the Udaipur Municipal Corporation, by our funding agency called ICLI South Asia, which was having the grant from the SDC, Swiss Development Corporation, and at that time, Dr. Majumdar was the advisor to the ICLI, and they suggested that the TERI is having a good technology, which is basically a biphasic technology. So apart from this MSW, the city is also generating a lot of STP sludge. Though the city is having a very good treatment facility for treating the sewage in the city itself, and you can see the generation is around 70 to 75 MLD, and they have 4 different plants. If you add all the capacity of these 4 plants, that comes around 75 to 60. So they are doing well in terms of treatment of their sewage, but these plants are also generating the sludge, which is posing a challenge for the corporation to deal with this. So in that regard, the many residents of the UMC area, particularly near to the STP plants, were making complaints to the UMC that they are feeling the very stink smell and some nuisance created out of this sewage sludge and sewage treatment plant. So initially, when we started this project, we installed a 2 TPD plant for their demonstration, right? And that first plant was purely on the treatment of organic solid waste, right? And the technology adopted was TERI's own technology, which is acronymed as TEAM process. TEAM stands for TERI's Enhanced Acidification and Methanation Process. So we can jump to this next slide, please. So first plant was on the installation of the biomethanation plant that was having the capacity of 2 TPD, and the resource provided by the UMC was land, water, electricity, and organic waste, but the main finance, or it was sponsored financially by the ICLI South Asia, which is having the grant from SDC. So this is okay, but when we went to the site, we saw the waste, right? When we talked to the UMC officials, right, they were not aware all about their waste. So what is the potential of their waste? So whatever we proposed them, they simply accepted, right? And they did not carry out any kind of technology assessment, no technology efficiency assessment, right? So this is the first learning for us, or which we want to share with you, that whenever you are going for this kind of technology adoption in your municipal areas, or for this kind of waste treatment through this biomethanation route, you need to do, or you need to know first what all your waste has. Right? So, it's a basic concept that each and every organic material, whether it is a plant material or it is any food material, is having a fixed carbon to nitrogen ratio. Right? So, the proportion of that waste in your organic waste will never give you a constant production of biogas generation. So whenever we talk to the all officials, because they are all diplomats and bureaucrats, so they just simply ask, this is the waste, how much gas will you produce and how much energy will you give us, right? But they are not aware about the quality of their waste. So it is important to know them, for them to know that the quality assessment of the waste is very must. Right? So next slide, please. So this is the technology which we simply implemented at that site. So the green boxes you can see, it's these are the 6 basic reactors for pre-treatment of the organic waste. Right? So as I told you that all the different plant materials, the food material is having the different potential for biomethanation generation. So what is the way out so that we can have a stable gas production and the constant gas production from the waste? So intermediate product which is which is generated while processing through the anaerobic digestion is the generation of the volatile fatty acid. Right? So if you can optimize the VFA generation through these technologies, then based on your VFA concentration, your biogas production will be stable and that will last long. So whatever waste you have, right, you first get it converted into the intermediate products, whether acetate or volatile fatty acids, then you subject those fatty acids to the biogas generation. So it will have the dual advantage, right? One, that you will have a control on the entire process, by manipulating the pH values, the TS values, and the dilution factors and other things. And second will be advantage will be that the whatever wastewater, treated wastewater is generated from the biomethanation process that you can utilize again in your process. So this is about the technology. So these 6 green boxes are for the pre-treatment, and this treated waste is then fed into in a 2 type of different reactors. Right? If we are going for a say pure hotel waste or food waste, then we can go for a technology called upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor, that is USB reactor. And if we are going for the MSW or the organic fraction of MSW or OFMSW, then what we can do is we can pre-treat it for 6 days first, and then we can feed directly into the biodigester, which is having a floating dome for gas storage. Right? So we have different combination of the same technology, but the process remains the same for all kind of waste, because we need to bring all the waste constituents or the organic waste constituents in a single form, that is the volatile fatty acids. So next slide, please. So this is the view of the plant which we first installed in Udaipur Municipal Corporation. So this is an overview, and these the second slide is for the acidification process, right? And this is the biodigester. Lower portion is the biodigester. The 80-90% of the digester is underground, and the upper portion is for gas holding. Right? So if there is a space constant, this can be replaced with the balloon or some other arrangement. So because this has a very various advantages over the balloon system for the decentralized plants. Right? So then it is fed into the gas engine, 100% biogas engine, where we are generated the electricity, and then it was fed to the nearby fire station for their pump operation and other lighting and cooling operations. So next slide, please. So this is basic information about the plant that before that, this is the case of the co-digestion, right? So after this completion of the first project, which was basically on MSW treatment, then after that, the municipal corporation approached us for that. We are struggling with the problem of STP sludge, which is being generated from different STP plants. So that quantity is again a huge quantity that is in the range of 5 to 7 TPD. So we proposed this idea to the Principal Scientific Advisor Officer, Government of India, and they connected us with the CSR funding. So the ICS Security, they funded this second project, and we did this co-digestion process in that, and using the same facility, which was initially supported by ICLEI and SDC. So we did this co-digestion process. So we optimized the process, how much STP sludge can be mixed with the organic fraction of waste, and what should be, and how to play with the C/N ratio using different ratios of the organic waste and STP sludge. So at the end of, say, around 8 to 9 months, we were able to achieve that optimum parameters. So when we operated this plant for next 1 year, so these are the statistics. So we operated this plant at a capacity of 2 TPD, full capacity, and the biogas generation was in the tune of 85 to 95 meter cube per day, which was about 20% more than the biogas yield which we obtained from the pure MSW treatment. So this is the additional advantage of adding this kind of organic source of you can say carbon in the form of the STP sludge or other things. So we this is a very good case study, and PSA office as well as the ICS Securities, they appreciated it, and they have asked us to upload this kind of proposals in the Manthan portal. You must be aware of this Manthan portal, and the subsequent projects from the same funding agency, the ICS Securities, they are approaching us for the repeated replication of this kind of projects in other parts of country. So we are approaching for Northeast, which are really struggling for this kind of dual problems. So the total electricity this is in the tune of 280 to 300 units a day, and this was, and a part of it was consumed for running our plant, and rest of that was supplied to the fire station, the Madri fire station of UMC. So price of electricity, if you consider, which was the prevalent rate in the UMC, is around, the commercial rate is 12 rupees a unit. If you see the savings on account of electricity, that is 3,600 per day. Right? If I reduce the operation cost, say around 1,600 rupees a day, then your net profit is around 2,000 rupees alone from this city electricity savings. Right? I am not considering the manure at all, because manure is, though we are saying it's sold in the market, but the reality of the ground is that nobody is buying it. They can buy it from us on free, with no cost, right? But when we put a price tag on it, the people start asking the questions. What is the quality? How much protein? How much nitrogen is there? How much potassium NPK is there? How much phosphorus is there? So we don't have that answer. And I'm frankly speaking, if we are generating this kind of manure from the MSW, it is very difficult to meet the FCO standards. And we need the further, treatment, or you can say the kind of conditioning or the nutrient management of that manure to make it really sellable in the market. So I'm not considering that cost for this kind of, especially for this decentralized application of small plants. So other environmental benefits that we observed and we calculated that if we are, simply because simple calculation on GHG reduction, the total CR generation is in the tune of 290 for the first year. Right? So if we implement such decentralized plant, right, say it is in a city like Delhi, if we install small plants of 2 TPD or like that, though the experience of the Delhi is not very fruitful, right, as far as the biomethane plant of that 5 TPD is concerned, but still I would advocate to go for this kind of small plant. Next, please. So this is the challenge that we faced, and this is also a kind of learning that the ULBs or the small municipal councils or corporations should focus on. The first of all, that you should know your waste. So the know your waste is going to be a big campaign in the country by the ministry as well, right? So when this I have already explained you that what was our experience about the waste. So know your technology, understanding the technology decision matrix. So for every municipal corporation, council, gram panchayat, they should be taught or they should be made aware about the different technologies available in the market, and a frank opinion of the technology efficiency, technology pros and cons should be clearly told to them so that they can make a good decision. Right? So it is also good not only for knowing this, it is also good to develop for the tender document or the request of proposals, right? And they can have a negotiation on different aspects of the technology implementation. Right? So, and apart from this, the financial resources for sustained operation and maintenance, right? The UMC, my particular experience with the UMC is that they were not even aware about this kind of finance is, what kind of finance is available for this kind of solutions. So they can be taught that there are schemes under Swachh Bharat missions, and they do not know what, they have the money, but they do not know how to invest their money. The question is, they can bring us, the technocrats or the solution providers, they can discuss, they can learn. So there's a very huge gap about, still, I would say that there's still a huge gap in training capacity building of these ULVs. So this is one of the learning. And then carbon financing projects, if the UMCs they pitch in for carbon financing projects, they can generate a handsome amount from the carbon financing projects also, because they can integrate the various activities, not only the solid waste, they can also integrate other electricity efficiency projects or solar light projects and other things. So they can collectively go for carbon financing projects. The other learning, bidding and implementation. So here I would like to emphasize that whenever you are going to give a site, and the technology provider like us, it is important for us to know the site first. Right? Because what happens after allotment of the tender, right? If we are changing the site, right, we are cost redundant. Right? So our cost goes drastically high, and which is not built initially in the project. So in that case, what happens? Either the developer or the technical solution provider will bid it out, or they will simply refuse for implementation of such projects. So don't, it is for the providers, the solution providers, that don't give any financial proposal prior to the finalization of the site by the client. So this was a great learning for me from the US this client. Right? The initial site was very good site. It was leveled site, and based on that, we gave the financial proposal. And after that, they shifted to some other site where we found it was a very low-lying and depressed land. And when we dig it out for installation of some equipment, there a lot of rock was there, and cutting those rocks was a challenge. So the use, our 70% cost just went into the just for making the shed and basic infrastructure, right? Yes. So, uh, and the last point is the project timeline should start after the finalization of the site and financial proposal submission. Otherwise, there are penalty clauses, right? And in order to avoid that, you should follow all such things. And other issues that these are very common issues, right? So though the municipality says that we will provide the segregated waste, which never happens, right? So we have to have our own segregation system, at least secondary system for at the plant site. So this was again a challenge for us. So evacuation of power and gases, there should be a proper system. Once you started generating, so there should not be just a flaring of gas or just other utilization, nonsense utilizations. So there should be a proper utilization of such things, and utilization or sale of manure. And here, for the small plants, I would say that don't go for sale. Give it free of cost to the farmers. Let them do it, and they will also appreciate your efforts. And proper training to ULBs, officials, and operators on operation, maintenance, performance evaluation, and troubleshooting. This is very important, because most of the plant, whether it is a commercial plant or it is a small plant, like just because of lack of such things, training, right, they cannot control. The operator can make you fool, right, by any ways. But if you are very learned and experienced, right, no one can. And that is ultimately going to reflect in your performance. The safety and security of the plant is very must. Next. So these are some pictures. If you allow me, then I will quickly run a small video. Very good. Yeah. Just. It's a 2 minutes. Yes. Yeah. इसमें एक link है. Follow. Otherwise, I can just go through this schematic only. चला दे? वीडियो चला दो. इसके ऊपर है 11th में होगा. 10th में इसके ऊपर वाले हैं. नहीं इसको फुल पे लेके आओ. ये पीपीटी मोड पे लेके आओ. देन यू क्लिक वीडियो. So this was made by ICN Security and TERI. So the waste is received at site. So you can see the quality of the waste they are giving us, right? So थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ाते रहो उसको, हल्का सा, थोड़ा सा बढ़ाओ आगे, थोड़ा सा, इतना नहीं, थोड़ा सा आगे, हाँ. So it is further segregated on the conveyor belt, and it is being crushed first, and they are mixing the STB sludge along with this. So whatever is crushed material or the slurry that is collected in this tank, and from this tank it is going to the acidification reactors. नहीं वो एक्चुअली उनका पहले से कुछ प्रोसेस मतलब कुछ सेग्रीगेटेड है हाउस होल्ड लेवल से, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी स्मॉल plastic and other things, because there are small gutka pouches and other things, so that still needs segregation. So these are acidification reactors where your waste will be kept for 6 days. Here the retention time is 6 days. So we have made 6 in order to continue the cycle, right? So after that if you are going for the food waste, this is the leachate collection tank, and from here it is, the pH of this is adjusted to near neutral, because during the acidification process, the pH goes down to 3.5 to 4. So under that condition, your biomethanation bacteria, so those are not going to survive at that acidic condition. So this is the dry digester and this is the holder, and gas is first allowed to go through a pipe where the moisture is condensed, and from here, right, this is what I am going to explain. This is here some kind of cleaning is done. Cleaning is done, and then it's fed into this reactor, this engine, electricity, and electricity is then. So I fast cut this. So this equipment is for analyzing the gas composition. I would say it is not fully economically viable unless we go for sale of manure. But it saves the environment, it saves the transportation cost to the landfill site and the associated challenges with the landfill sites. So environment friendly technology is this, and I won't say that it is going to at 2 TPD it is going to make you a brisk business. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.